Good afternoon, traders. Good afternoon, and welcome to a VTP Stage 2 online technical Tuesday coaching call 177 for the 13th of January 2026. I hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good start to the week. Hope you're not suffering with this cold and flu that I've had. But if you are, I hope things are getting better. As always, you're very welcome here. Just remember that you are always responsible for your own trading decisions. What we're starting this month is the Q1 2026 Dollar Edge FX Swing Trading mentorship. So this is going to be sort of, kind of a 10-week FX swing trading mentorship towards the end of Q1 of this year, with a couple of live group coaching sessions per week with trades signals sent out, and also you get 4 private one-to-one coaching sessions as well to help personalize your process. All about really just sort of trading, swing trading FX, primarily dollar, but also sterling and euro, just utilizing a 4-hour chart. So it's a little bit more sedate than the intraday trading sessions that we ran at the end of last year. Just means it's a bit more sustainable, okay, for people, especially if you're trading around other lifestyle commitments. If you got questions or if you want to join, you can use the QR code or that bit.ly code, or just drop me a note if you want some more details. All right, let's finish up with sterling. Let's start with the cable. Boom. That double bottom in front of the budget, on the with 130 beneath in the weekly 15, we bounced off it. We did put in this kind of key reversal pin bar there. We shot up here at the start of last week. We fell down a little bit yesterday. As I said, was a lot of just basically the dollar got sold off, right, just across the board. That was nothing to do with sterling. That was all basically dollar selling. But it did also print this. This is a failed inverse pin bar there. Okay, so I'll be intrigued to see whether that 20 now flips and holds. Certainly, it was an interesting morning on the FX pairs that I'm just looking at there. A kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So, yeah, interestingly, all right. That's interesting there. Okay. Certainly on an intraday basis, there was a really nice Pac-Man there. Okay, double top Pac-Man, and away we went. Okay, that partway through there on the cable. After CPI, we'll get a bit better indication. As I said, there's a lot of dollar work. We've also got sterling and GBP. Bang, pound against yen. Yen weakens. We've just looked at Aussie yen, but look at pound yen, all right? That has just really been a case of selling yen across the board, all right? Selling yen across the board, just basically, keeps bouncing off the 50 there, right? Bouncing off the 20 there, just working its way higher. That is basically buying strength, selling weakness, all right? That's the name of the game. Pound against Swiss franc, this is kind of intriguing me as well, is that we kind of flushed out those lows and we've worked our way a little bit higher here, but the daily chart's very strange on pound Swiss. See how just lots of sterling there. Is it lots of sterling, or is it lots of Swiss franc selling? Is this the SMB playing it being silly buggers? I don't particularly trust them as far as I could throw them. Certainly this week, if we look at that, we gapped down, bounced off the 50 there, and has just working our way up there and stuff. That's this is one of the other things, is that sometimes the brokers play silly buggers with the Swiss franc pairs. You have to keep an eye on them, all right? See how you get out of these strange blocks here. So you make sure you keep an eye on your pound Swiss pairs. Well, in fact, all your Swiss pairs. Looking at the euro against sterling here, okay, the daily chart continues in that downtrend. Right, so the monthly candles, we rolled off that 88, which has just been significant, resistance in the past. We're working our way down there. The weekly chart continues. That doesn't look as good on as very good on the weekly. Let's go with that. Liking that on the weekly is more kind of. On a weekly, it is more looking like a kind of a bearish channel there, isn't it? That's the way I'd be looking at it. A bearish channel working its way down there. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I'd be sort of looking at that. I'd say that's more of a channel than a flag pattern. All right, but once again, we channeled down here and reversed beautifully. 3-bar reversal there, fiery cross off the air 50. I wonder whether we do the same here. So daily chart. yeah, the daily chart, is just kind of a bit of a nice reverse. If I remember rightly, the 4 hour chart we started off the week really well yesterday and stuff. Bang, that was a nice trade. I'm pleased with that. Beautiful. That is just 50 MAB. All right. That is just, a moving average bounce off the 50 period moving average. All right. That was the trade down yesterday. Euro sterling, selling euro, buying sterling. Literally everybody selling the dollar. Sell in the dollar. Canadian dollar's weakened, hasn't it? And we start to see that representing sterling as well. It's very scruffy uptrend. And I was looking at this. We were here at the end of what's going to happen. We formed like a lower high there. Was the 50 going to break? And if we broke, I figured we might come down to about 177, but it's held. And now we're back up above the 20, aren't we? We're back up above the 20. That is Canadian dollar weakness, sterling strength. Okay, let's draw it to a close there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I hope you found that useful. I hope that's given you a little bit of help, a little bit of insight, okay, into markets. As always, I wish you the best of success in your own trading endeavors. Have yourself a fabulous trading week, and I will speak to you soon, everybody. Cheers.